Alright, in this video I want to show you guys something amazing. So if you've been keeping up with my channel, I've shown you guys how I've come to a 2025 Passover Rapture. The exact date is April 19th in 2025, or 4/19 in 2025. I want to show you something that I found. So if you go to 2025 and you start at January 1st, the first day of the year, and you do a day count to the day I believe the rapture will be on, April 19th or 4/19, you come up with 109 days. Now, what does the Bible say about the rapture? It says that we will be, paraphrasing, we will be caught up to meet the Lord in the air, right? Okay, well, the number 109 in the Greek, Strong's Concordance, is air. You can't even make this up. It's air. A day count from the first day of the year to the day I believe that the rapture will be on, which will be the barley harvest, because we are the barley, not the wheat. And the barley harvest happens in Passover. And it's happening in 2025 because the pattern in Genesis is repeating itself. And there was a great deliverance 2 years into the 7-year famine. Just like we're in the 7-year Shemitah, the last 7-year stretch here. 2 years into this famine, we will be delivered out. Just like they were in Genesis chapter 45. 2 years into the famine. And notice Genesis chapter 45 is 2025. 20 plus 25 is 45. 20 times 25 is 500. 500 in the Strong's Concordance, Hebrew, means God ascends. That's when we ascend. Just like in Exodus chapter 40. Hence the chapter 40. There are 40 Jubilees from Christ to now. And in Genesis chapter 40, the glory of God had to ascend, go up from the temple or the tabernacle of Israel, so that Israel was able to continue forward on their journey. That is another picture of the rapture and us, because remember, Christ is in us, the hope of glory. So also in Revelation 12, I always say, the man-child was one person. Now that pattern pertains to us. We are the body of Christ. Now, the body of Christ is not one body, but is a multitude of people. So that also is attached to the number 500 in the Concordance, which is 20 times 25, where it says God ascends, because the man-child ascending in Revelation chapter 12 is God ascending also. Not only in Exodus chapter 40, when the glory of God ascended off of the tabernacle, but now the glory of God, which is Christ, ascends off the entire earth, which is the tabernacle, also in the macrocosm. The temple, the tabernacle for Israel that was built by human hands was a microcosm of the tabernacle, which is the entire earth, which is the macrocosm. So again, that is attached to God ascending. Again, another picture of that with the man-child ascending. And that is us, also a pattern for us, because Christ is in us and we are his body now. And also sticking on the number 500. In 1 Corinthians 15, verses 1 through 7 or 8, at the resurrection of Christ, which was in Passover, there were over 500 people there. The Bible, the King James Bible, literally says 500. Why? Because 20 times 25 is 500. Now, like I've shown before, the actual date that I'm at, which is April 19th or 4/19, if you look that number up in the Strong's Concordance, in the Greek, the definition is unsearchable. Impossible to discover, going beyond all human ability to locate. If there was a description of the day of the rapture, there couldn't be a better definition than this, right? Now remember, Jesus said, no man knows the day or the hour but my Father in heaven. But the Bible also says in Amos 3:7 that God will do nothing without revealing his secrets to his servants, the prophets. Now, I'm not trying to boast, but that's in the Bible. And it also says in Proverbs 25:2 that it is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but it's the honor of kings to search out a matter. So all I'm doing is showing you where I'm at and the evidence for my belief. You don't have to believe it. And I think every person out there that is looking for dates for the rapture needs to put a disclaimer on it, just like I did. Make sure and tell the people, because a lot of people are, hanging on every word of some people, and make sure and give them a disclaimer that this is where I'm at. You don't have to believe it, but this is the evidence of why I'm here. And again, the way that I was led to this was a multitude of reasons in my mind that God was putting together. Like, for instance, okay, I knew that Christ resurrected in Passover, okay? And then I knew that we're the barley harvest, not the wheat harvest. The barley comes first, just like in the book of Ruth, but the barley harvest is in Passover. There's another one. Then I researched that the sun goes through Taurus, the constellation, in Passover in 2025. Not in other years, but in 2025. And that has all kinds of significance. The sun going through Taurus. The blood of bulls and goats no longer or never did atone for sins. It merely, the old system that they had. So the sun, symbolic of Jesus, going through Taurus, and then also the earth is covered with the firmament, which is the Taurus field. So there's all kinds of significance to that. But that only happens in Passover on 4/19. So not only am I claiming Passover, but I'm claiming that day that the sun goes through Taurus, 4/19. Another amazing thing is that if you look up the number 4/19 in the Hebrew concordance, not the Greek like this, in the Hebrew now, it means God has loved. I mean, these are like I've said, the Strong's Concordance is a book of prophecy. It's prophetic. It's not just a book to give you definitions in Hebrew and Greek of words. I've shown you guys time and time again that these numbers absolutely cannot be by coincidence, because it happens almost every time that I look something up. It's crazy. Just like this. From the 2024 Feast of Trumpets, which is October 2nd, to the 2025 Feast of Trumpets, which is September 23rd, it's 356 days. Okay? So you look 356 up in the concordance, and it's Elon. Elon. I mean, you can't even make this stuff up. See, the Bible was put together hundreds of years ago. The concordance was put together like 150, 180 years ago. Gematria is over 2,000 years old. Yet these three things act like, or when you learn how to use it, it's almost like they were created in the same day, because they're all linked together and they're all prophetical. The whole Bible is prophecy, all of it.